Whew, it's heavy. If I'm being honest, I didn't put God first in nothing, if I'm being real. I didn't put my boy first, which he already know, but I had to confess it with my mouth and let it be known that I was giving it to him. Now where I'm at, what he has revealed to me through this time has been profound. Hey y'all, hey, welcome to the very first episode of Be the Seed Girl You Growin Podcast. I am so excited to have y'all joining me for something that is so precious. I am your girl, your host, Erinne, and I am, when I say thrilled to have y'all here, like it's crazy. This is so divine. This is all God's doing. And I'm so ready for y'all to just tap in with me, to get to know more about me, to grow deeper in God, to be rooted in God, and for us to just blossom together and, just do this thing. If you see me looking down, I will let you know now. I got my little iPad with my little notes, so we can stay on track. But I want you to know you didn't just stumble on this podcast on accident. It was intentional. It had purpose with it, very, very, intentional. Like I've said before, this is a space that I want to create a vibe for us to just chill, talk about God, make it so natural, so cool. And this is literally a space for my girls who are still trying to learn God, who really want to be rooted into who God is, learn more about who they are during this season, and to get through what they are going through. Let me say that one more time. This for the ones to, actually, let me reword that, grow through what you're going through. And that's important. So I just want y'all to really just enjoy this time that we have together. I want y'all to, be open-hearted, have an open mind, and we're going to vibe out together, y'all. We're really going to vibe out. So today's episode is called Planted on Purpose. Whew, it's heavy. Planted on Purpose, Why Your Start Matters. And I think, of course, when hearing about the importance of starting, of course, that brings fear. It brings a lot of hesitation. But we're going to tap into that. We're going to talk about your purpose. We're going to talk about why your purpose is important. And we're going to, really just create a cool little atmosphere. No, you don't need to have it all figured out. No, it doesn't need to be perfect. God doesn't want us to be perfect. He just wants us to have an open heart, to be willing, and to just come as we are. And, we're going to tap into it. So just grab your journal, grab your favorite little tea, your favorite little drink, and let's sit down and enjoy each other, and let's grow together. So I want to start off with, why does your start matter? I think for me, and I feel like I kind of said this before, if you would have told me a few years ago, hey, Erinne, you're going to be in front of a camera. You're going to be talking about the goodness of God. You're going to be talking about all the things that God has done for you. I would have laughed at you. I probably would have cried a little bit, or I definitely would have did both. Something would have happened in between that, because that Erinne a few years ago, she dealt with rejection. She dealt with just the self-sabotaging. She dealt with the not feeling like I was enough, dealt with the embarrassment, the shame, all the things, whatever, any negative thing you can think of, I dealt with that. And so I had to go through a pruning season where God had to show me, Erinne, that's why I want to use you, because of what you've been through, because of the quote unquote shame, because of the rejection, because of you just feeling like you don't have it all together. I want to use you to show you that I can use you during this time. I want to use you to show you that you have purpose here. And a few years ago, I didn't know what my purpose was, but now I do. And I think that it's so on time. It's so wonderful to see how God has been moving in my life. And I just know that the things that he has for me, this is literally only the beginning. So when I tell you that you don't have to have it all together, like I really mean it. Again, you talking about a girl that dealt with the rejection, dealt with all the negative, shame, embarrassment. He wants that. He wants you to come to him and just surrender. He wants us to tell him, God, I can't do this by myself. God, I need you here with me so I can get through this. God, I need you to help me through this because calling on different friends wasn't working. Being able to try to do it myself, I noticed that it wasn't getting me nowhere. Like I was literally going in a circle, going in a circle. So God literally had to break that chain off of me and put me in a place of surrendering, and he isolated me as well. And I think that's very intentional, and that's just his way of speaking to us. Just if I'm being honest, I didn't put God first in nothing. If I'm being real, I didn't put my boy first, not like how I should have. He was like a second or third option. Really wasn't even probably the second because I would try to figure it out. I tried to do it on my own. Then if I couldn't think of something, I'd call on someone else. And if they couldn't think of something, I'd go somewhere else. And then when it was like, okay, I'm all resourced out, then now let me go and talk to God. And our God is a jealous God. He wants us to come to him first as soon as an issue happens. Not even with as soon as the issue happens, but as soon as we feel like we need him, because we do. So I had to learn that. And that just goes with tapping into our purpose and actually starting. With me realizing that I needed to put God first, it was a battle that I was going with, a feeling like I wasn't capable of becoming. I wasn't capable of becoming the woman who God has called me to be. I wasn't capable of being used whatsoever because of all of the flaws and the things that I went through and the things that I allowed to happen, the low self-esteem, the rejection, all that, I allowed it to put me in a box really, where it was kind of like, he would never use someone like me. But the crazy thing is, he would. He really wanted to. My boy wanted to use little old me. The person who, when I tell you, the person who always had the biggest smile, who was so friendly to everybody, but behind closed doors, I was struggling, y'all. I was struggling, and I didn't know who Erinne was. And just to look back at who that version of me, to know that God wanted to use me, I thank him for it. And I know if he can do it for me, he can also do it for you. And it just took me just stepping out and having the faith and just starting. And when I say it's so important to just step out on that faith and start, you will be surprised on how things start to unravel for you in a good way. How God starts to open doors for you that no man can close, and how he starts to close doors that no man can open. And I think that we have to remember at those moments where we feel like we're at our wits' end and we're doing it by ourselves, that God is still right there with us the whole time. He's literally right there with us the whole time. And in spite of my pain, in spite of all the heartache, it's because of that I'm able to sit in front of this camera and talk to you and tell you that you can do it, that you can start, that it's important that you have a voice, that you have a purpose here. And I hope that through this episode, by the end of this episode, that you either know what your purpose is, that God reveals to you what your purpose is, and that you're able to walk in that purpose with so much confidence, so much pride, and so much just a little bit, little 1-2 to go along with you. I want to read a scripture real quick. This is one of my favorites that has gotten me to the place that I'm in right now of just starting and walking in my purpose. And it's Isaiah 43:18. It says, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past." Literally, don't dwell on the past. Meaning you can't just sit there and be so focused on your mess ups. You can't be here and be like, man, God not gonna do this for me. He's not fit to allow somebody like me to get a blessing. Cause the thing is, he is. And it goes on to say how, see, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Like, do you not see what I'm doing for you? I'm creating a new thing in you. He's literally putting a new opportunity, a new dream, a new vision, a business idea in your belly so you can birth out something new because you are worthy. Because you're what we need in this kingdom. Because you are what he needs. Because it's people like us who don't have it all together. He needs to use us to bring other people in. He doesn't want the people who are perfect. Because let's be real, when we see somebody who seems like they have it all together, are you influenced by them? Like, oh my gosh, they're so perfect. They have the perfect outfit, the hair is perfect, the body is perfect. Then we got to deal with that comparison thing. No, God wants us with the flaws and all. He wants us to come to him just so he can get the glory at the end of it to say, oh, it was only because of me that you were able to get to where you are. Literally. So I just want y'all to remember, again, that is Isaiah 43:18. It literally, it just does something for me. It really does. And just sitting here thinking, it's like I used to carry shame on my skin, like literally on my sleeve. I would walk into rooms and feel as if, like, dang, I wonder if this person know who Erinne is. Or, I wonder if, being that I'm no longer this type of girl or this type of person, will they still perceive me as the old me? Because let's be real, you already know when you've changed and you've allowed God to come in and renew you and restore you and create something new within you. It's still the people from the past who try to bring up your past, who try to tell you, nah, you still the same person. Oh, she thinks she all that. But we remember who you were. It's like, yeah, you remember me. I'm glad that you remember who I used to be. So now that I'm who I am now, I'm not the same. And when y'all ask, how did you get like that? I'm proud enough to say there's nobody but God. The goodness of God, who has put me in this space where I'm able to just be vulnerable, open, transparent, and let you know this is who I am. I'm confident in that. I feel good about it. I got a little difference, a little pep in my walk and a little pep in my step. I carry myself different. I got that grace on me and I love it for myself. As you should too. And I just want us to remember the favor that, all in all, understanding what favor is. And it's so easy for us to get caught up in our past or who we used to be. And we forget that God's grace is sufficient. We forget that every day we are responsible. We are in charge of denying our flesh, carrying our cross daily, turning over a new leaf daily. Is it easy? No, but it's a beautiful thing. It's a great thing, and we have to just be ready to receive what it is that God has for us. Like, y'all, if you give it to God, He will take care of the rest. Like, if you just don't play tug of war with Him. I've been there. I've done that. Don't do the tug of war. Just literally give it all to Him. Surrender it to Him. Be like, here, my boy, I don't want to deal with it no more. I can't do it. It's not working for me. So I need you to take lead. You lead, I follow. And we have to remember that. And we have to remind ourselves that every day, because it's important. It's important. And when tapping into our purpose, we have to understand what it is that God has for us. In what way does God want to use us? And what way has God been speaking to us? Is it through, for some, it may be social media. You know, we got a lot of content creators right now. Is that your thing? Is it impacting the youth? Is it tapping into I don't even know. I don't even want to just list out things. Whatever your purpose is, I just want you to understand that if you give it to God and ask God to reveal it to you, He will. And He did it for me. He'll do it for you. I'll never forget on my 31st birthday, I went out to the park and I was by myself and I was like, God, I want to do this year different. I want more of you. I want to understand you. I want to understand your word. I want to gain knowledge of who you really are because I don't know. I don't know you. I read the Bible, but I really don't understand nothing that I'm reading. Because at first I was trying to read that King James and the thou out God. So the Shakespeare, I was not understanding it. And so for the longest, I thought that maybe it's me. Like, am I tripping? Am I a slow reader? Like, what is it? Why can't I get that? And then as I continued to read, and I started Googling, if I'm being honest, the different versions of the Bible is what stuck out to me. And so now I read from like the Christian Standard Version, and then I might tap into like the, I call it the messy version, the messenger version, or NIV. And just reading the scriptures in those different versions allowed me to understand God more. And, you know, going back to that 31st birthday, I literally was what I felt like in a space of trying to figure it all out. And I gave it all to God. I was tired of the tug of war. I was tired of dropping it down to His feet and then going back and picking it up. I was tired of that constant battle with self, with flesh, knowing that, okay, I need to do right, but still making those poor choices. And now that I look at it, I'm grateful for those choices that wasn't so perfect, because it was through those moments that God spoke to me. It was through those moments that I seen that I have value in Him, that I'm worth what it is that He's trying to do. I'm worth fighting for. And that's all He wanted me to do. He just wanted me to realize that for myself. And He was there all along. He didn't leave. He sat there and he waited for your girl. And I came to Him and I had to let Him know I'm a mess. I'm filthy. I lie. I make poor choices. I do this. I do that. I ain't gonna tell you my whole little life story. Not on the first episode. But you'll learn more about me. But all the things, I told Him all that, which He already know, but I had to confess it with my mouth and let it be known that I was giving it to Him. And now where I'm at and what He has revealed to me through this time has been profound. And it's all because I started. I put it out there. I made that first step. And we can talk so much about the importance of starting, but to finish what we start, now that's a different story. That's a different topic for a different day. But when we're able to finish the things in which we start, that's when we know God is all up and through that. That's when we know that we have surrendered and allowed Him to take lead in all the things. And it's beautiful. It's amazing to be a part of. It's amazing to just know that God see us, and it's okay. It's okay, again, to not have it all together. It's okay to know that we aren't perfect, and it's literally just a way of God showing us who we are and whose we are. And even with that, and I'm gonna kind of jump into this next part. This is why I started Be the Seed. I needed a space where I could be vulnerable. I needed a space where I can talk about the things that I have going on and how I'm not perfect, because sometimes us as Christians, we feel like we have to be this cookie cut perfect person, no rough edges. We have to have it all together, when we don't. We have to get away from the stigma that's out there about Christians having to be perfect. Oh, I'll come to God when I have it together. No, he wants us to come to him when we don't have it together. The church is supposed to be our hospital. The church is supposed to be that place where he works on us, works in us and through us. The word is supposed to be food, water. We are the seed, literally. That's how I came up with the be the seed. And I didn't even come up with it. God gave it to me in a dream. He wanted this space to be set up where other like-minded women who felt like they had to have it all together, where they felt unseen or unheard or out of place. He wanted this space to be set up. He wanted it to be a place where, Erinne, you open enough. You getting through it. I've taken you through the whole being planted process. These past 2 years, that's what it's been. So now that I am blossoming, I'm able to pour into others and talk to y'all about what it is, what it ain't, what it's gonna be, what it may not seem like, but it's still working out. That's what Be the Seed is all about. You do not have to have it all together. The start still matters. You have a purpose here. Your voice will be heard. You will be seen. God wants to use you. And we have to keep reminding ourselves that. We have to keep telling ourselves that that's really what it is, because it's important. It's so important. So, sis, if nobody has told you today, you are planted on purpose for a purpose. God is using you as a seed. Even though you feel like you have too much dirt on you, that dirt is being watered by God. That dirt is actually fertile soil. And he's using that to make sure to allow you to be rooted. So even though you may still feel buried, that's because your roots is gaining its strength. So when you break ground, that's when you start to walk in that purpose that God has for you. That's when those new opportunities start to come. That's when God starts to reveal who you are. That's when you have a little bit of power, that the extra that you didn't know that you had, where you feeling like, oh, where did this come from? I ain't know I felt like this. I ain't never experienced this before. That's God. That's that glory. Got a little glory on you, girl. And you have to remember that. And it's so important. So I just want to say thank you for spending time with me today at my very first episode of Be the Seed, Girl You Growing podcast. I'm so excited for what's to come. I want you to make sure that you are tuning in every Monday. I have so many great things in store for all of us. And I just want you to stay tuned. I got my little saying that I'll do. So I'm going to start doing a little seeds for the week. And these are just little scriptures that I want us to focus on. And every week we'll do a little seed. And it's something you can study on, you can pray on, ask God to speak to you in whatever situation, in whatever way you need to. And so the seed for the week is, do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. That's Zechariah 4:10. So ladies, make sure you are watering your seed. Make sure you are watering your soul. Make sure you're staying true to yourself and giving yourself grace at all times. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want y'all to know, stay rooted, stay radiant, and stay planted. Until next time, peace.